Hi there, and welcome to ArtsWestchester's Virtual Arts Workshops. I'm artist Lara Yu and an ArtsWestchester teaching artist. Today, I want to invite you to create a personal mantra as a one-of-a-kind art object. First, I want to share a bit about a social art project I created called What Matters. It's been 7 years running. At this point, it's reached thousands of folks across many different disciplines, with other teaching artists as well, touching on visual arts, literary arts, and also movement, music, and drama. But in its most essential form, it was a very simple process of asking people to share the larger meaning of life, asking the question simply, what matters to you? And it was a process of writing the words and pinning them up in public spaces. And it became a communication with oneself, going inward and asking the question and then reflecting it outward. So along similar lines, today, we're going to create a personal mantra, also a writing exercise, going inward, reflecting. But first, what is a mantra? So a mantra in the Buddhist or Hindu tradition is a phrase, it could be a sound. It was originally in Sanskrit, but we'll use English or whatever language you want to use today. And it's used as a way to focus one's attention in meditation. So let's think to ourselves, what is the phrase or the words that we might want to be repeating to ourselves right now? Once we have a mantra, we're going to make it into the personal art object. So think about where you might want this art object to be. Maybe it's the first thing you see in the morning and the last thing you see at night. It could be in front of your bed, or maybe in your wallet, maybe on a small piece of paper, or maybe it's something quite large on the surface of a wall somewhere, maybe on your doorway as you exit your house. It could be anywhere. So just think about where you might like it to be, and that will inform what kind of shape and size it will be. First, I'm going to ask you to gather some of the things around you. And like cooking, we're going to gather everything first and lay it out so it's all at your fingertips. So you're just going to want to bring together some everyday things you might have around the house. Paper of some kind. I happen to have some inexpensive sketch paper, but it could be computer printer paper or even the backside of junk mail. It could be cardboard scraps. I have some folders here. It could be anything that you want to write on top of or paint over or collage with. I also have some other materials that you could write directly on top of or cut out. I have this old calendar, some print materials, and then anything you might want to collage with if that's something you'd like to try. It could be wrapping paper, tissue paper. I happen to have origami paper as well in different colors. And any scraps you might have from packaging, labels. I have some painter's color samples here. Or maybe you have some photographic prints or magazine clippings. I also have some ribbon, fabric scraps, plastic, foil. And then you're also going to need some basic writing implements. It could be markers or pens, pastels, paint if you have it. I have some pan paints here, watercolor pan paints. Brushes if you have, although that's not necessary. The basic things that you're going to need are paper and something to write with. And if you want to do collage, you'll need some glue. It could be white glue or acrylic medium, a glue stick or tape even, any kind of tape you have, and scissors to cut with for collage. Now for the creative part of our activity. I want you to close your eyes, and I'll do this with you, and just start to notice your breathing. Noticing what it feels like. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling deeper and exhaling. Ask yourself, what are you needing to hear right now? What would be a comfort? It could be a phrase, a word, a question, a song lyric, a cat meowing. But seriously, just sit with it for a bit. Just listen to yourself. See what comes out. And when you're ready, open your eyes and you can write out some of the thoughts on a piece of paper. So some different thoughts came up for me and I wrote those out. So one thing that came to mind for me was a quote by my childhood hero, Helen Keller. Helen Keller was deaf, she was blind, and also couldn't speak. But through great personal determination and with the help of her teacher, Annie Sullivan, and the support of her family, she learned to communicate in a really powerful way. And over 50 years later, after her death, she's still impacting us. She's still inspiring us. And one of the things that she said that I wrote down was, keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow. So look at your piece of paper and see, of all the things that you may have written, what seems to resonate the most. For me, I'm going to go with that one. Next, we're going to work out a design on a piece of paper. So I have my scratch paper here. We're going to do what I call thumbnail sketches, which are basically working out your concepts in miniature form. And then once you have a presentation you like, you can emulate that. So you're going to start with a piece of paper and you can fold it into sections. So it can be any piece of paper, scratch piece of paper. I'm just going to fold it in half to begin with. And you can also fold it the other way. And you basically have 4 squares that you can draw in. If you want more, you can do additional folds. So here, I'm just working out some different ideas, different compositions for the quote that I like. Turn your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow, Helen Keller. So in each of these squares, I worked out a different design concept. Here with larger type. Here I created a hillside with the sun, changing the scale again of the type. And this design with a bigger sun image. So in looking at all of these, I like this one best, so I drew that in pastel. And I improvised on the type. I made it a little bit bigger than my thumbnail sketch. But this becomes a guide for you to follow in creating your design. So think about where you want your design to go, and that will influence the scale and the aspect ratio. In my case, I want to put mine on my doorway, so when I leave the house, I can be in the right frame of mind. So I want to show you some samples. So here's the same quote, turn your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow, but made with origami paper and just an ordinary folder and written in marker. Here's another sample that I made actually on New Year's. This was a quote from that a friend shared with me, and I just wrote it on a piece of paper, and it can actually be a card. And here's another one that I created on New Year's, made with watercolor pencil, sort of a an intention for the year. And then finally I want to share this it's a really cool one that my friend Irma made. It was actually a card that she made for her husband for Father's Day present. And I really liked the image of the wave, so I asked if we could make it into a sample for this workshop. And we came up with Ride the Wave. So she added on to the picture, and then I wrote this type out. And this is actually just an ordinary brown paper bag. So you can use the most ordinary materials to make a pretty stunning image. And then I have this other example I wanted to show using photographs, cut photographs. It's still very much in progress. But you can see I cut up different pictures that I took. And I used plastic. This is the quote. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. So I use the image of the clouds. I love clouds. There's a picture of me sort of soaking up the sun, and me in Hawaii with my nephew, a lotus blooming out of the mud, and it's a beautiful landscape. So you can use any technique you want, any materials. So go at it, have a good time, and don't forget, keep your face to the sunshine, and you cannot see a shadow. If you like this video, please like it and pass it on to your family and friends. We'd love to see what you made. Take a photo. Share it on social media, #ArtsMobile. For more videos like this, go to artsw.org. I'm artist Lana Yu. Thank you.